Alright, so when you load up DayZ Editor, it's going to look like this. Click on over here, down the bottom right, Open Editor. You're going to click Chinoras because that's a map that you're going to be, putting a mod on. This is Livonia, but you guys are playing the Chinoras, so select that. Just got to wait a minute. Loads it up. Okay, so when you're here, this is the screen you're going to have, and it basically loads you in the map in effectively the same place. So what I'm going to do here is show an example of doing some stuff in Prison Island. So when you first load in, what you're going to have to do is the commands for moving around are ASDF. I'm sorry, ASD and W. Just like in the game. So S is going back, like this. A is to the right, E is to the left, and W is straight ahead. Now, if you move your cursor, move your mouse, obviously you can go around like that. So I'm looking down and pressing S, as in Sam, obviously, so I can go up a little bit. And if you'll notice, you'll know exactly what town we're in, right? So this is Novi, this is Starry, this is Starry Military right here, okay? So you're gonna always, whenever you load up DayZ Editor, you're always going to be somewhere between these two cities, all right? It's always gonna load you there. It's kind of a pain in the ass. You can't teleport anywhere, at least I don't know how. So you just have to basically travel there, right? So I'm gonna press W, okay, and then I'm going to press Shift so it goes faster. I'm going basically south, east, effectively, right now on the map to get to the ocean because, let's just say, for example, you want to build something on Prison Island. And you'll notice these towns. You'll know what that town is. This is Bologna. Alright, you just got to keep going. This part's kind of a pain in the ass when you start out, but once you start building, it'll automatically, if you load a file, it'll automatically take you to where you were building. Okay, so here's Prison Island. And so, just as an example, I'm just going to build a bridge, for example, between these two islands, okay? I already started doing it, so I'll show you. So if you want to load up something that you've already saved, to get out of the mode where you're moving the camera around, press spacebar, okay, and now you have a cursor. And that cursor, you can select all the stuff on the left, but also you can select your files, all right? So you go up here, open recent. I just was doing this, just as a test. So click Prison Island, okay, just one object. It automatically loads you. Here's a little thing I put down here. I was just starting. Okay, so when you're in view of this file, edit, and all these things on the left, you can hold the right mouse button, okay, and then you can move around like this. All right, right mouse button, and then move your mouse. Okay. If you do the right mouse button, hold the right mouse button down, and then press W, it's going to go forward. See that? S backward. Just like before, we press the space bar without the menu. It's a little bit more useful now because you're going to always be using these to kind of, work with what you got here. So let's just say we wanted to, build a bridge that players can walk on from this island to this island. Okay. So what we're going to do is, we're going to go find the bridge. So I just click up here. This part you got to learn a little bit the names of the objects. I think this is called pier, if I remember correctly. Okay, everything, you may not have this choice, BLDR. Okay, see how all these are BLDR? And then you have other ones that are, there's no BLDR. stands for builder. Never use any object that has BLDR in front of it, okay? I don't know why these load, but it's just glitched out. You may not even have them. If you use them, they won't appear in the game. You have to use any object in this list that does not have BLDR in the front. All right, just make note of that. All right, so we go down here, we look for the pier. Oh, here it is right here. Boathouse, pier. See if this one is another pier, and this is another pier. See that? So maybe we'll just, okay, so let's just say we're going to use this right here. So I'm going to click on here, okay, and then I'm going to drag it over. See that? And if I move my mouse button, I can rotate the object. Okay. If I need this to move over because I can't see, right? Because this is in the way, I just hold the right mouse button. Okay. And then hold the right mouse button and then press A. See, gonna go over. Gives me more. Right. E. W. S. Okay. See how that works? All right. So I just want to get into a position where I want to get the camera into a position where I can see what the hell I'm doing. Holding the right mouse button, and then basically, getting this. Just drop it there. Okay, so to drop it, you press the left mouse button. Boom. Okay. All right. So now we have our object placed. Obviously it's all jacked up, so we want to, obviously we want to fix it. So say for example, I want to rotate it, right, left and right. So I double click on this, and it brings up properties. Okay, see how I did that? There's a little square right here. Okay, this object over here has another little square. See that? This one has a square. This one has a square. Okay, when you have a bunch of objects, it starts getting really confusing as to what square goes with like what object. So if you click on the square, it'll highlight the object, so you'll know what object that you're about to interact with. So if I wanted to select both objects, I could just click my left mouse button and hold it. Okay, and I select both mouse buttons. If I want to move both at the same time, I just click that, moves both at the same time. All right. If I want them to move up and down at the same time, see they're both selected still, I can press page down, okay? And I can select page up, all right? The arrows, left arrow, right arrow, left arrow, right arrow, while they're selected, up arrow, down arrow. Now if I don't care about this right now, I only want to work with this, and just, look over here somewhere, and then either click this, or you can just, go like that. So now only this is selected, this is not. So now I want to position this, and I want to press the right mouse button so I can change my view a little bit, okay? So I can really see. I'm going to go down, down, down. Okay, see how I'm doing that? Alright, you can do whatever you want. You can, whatever. And then you just, place it where you want. Like just, boom, done. Alright? Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to take this guy over here, right? Click on it. I want to drag it over. Now you see how that feels like all jacked up. You see how, see how, page down. All right, page down, okay. See how I clicked on it, okay, and then I click and hold and drag it. You see how it resets all the way high like that? That's not the best way to move it, I've found, particularly if it's at the right height that you want it. So, say for example, you want the height to be here, and you still want it to be connected to this. Don't click on this and move it. Use the arrows. Down arrow, left arrow, down arrow. right arrow. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now you want to zoom in a little bit, right? Get a little closer, see how it's going to be looking. I mean, you know, you might not want to use both of these pieces together, but, okay, so now I'm pressing up, page up, and page down, okay? Now you'll see it jumps. See how it jumps so much? You know, I want to not have it jump so much because I'm trying to really be exact right now. So what I can do, oops, didn't mean to do that. What I can do is I can press the Alt key and go down, page down. Alt key and page down. That moves it just a little bit. Alt key page up, a little bit. Alt key left arrow. Alt key right arrow. Do that. Alt key forward. Alt key backward. Okay? Basically what you do. Alright, let's just set this up real quick. Alright, whatever. Something like that. Alright? Now, if you'll notice, right here, oops, see how what I'm trying to see, I want to look at this right here, this little piece right here. For whatever reason, maybe I don't like it. And I want to get really close and I want to get really exact. In order to do that, if I press S as in Sam, I zoom out, or move out, I press W, I move in, right? And sometimes I'll move in too far. See that? See I moved in so much? So in order to change that, you can change how quickly your camera moves by going to View, alright? Hold on. No, sorry. It's Editor, Preferences, and then Camera. Okay? Camera speed. A lot of times when I'm doing things that are like, you know, very exact and I want to match things up, I usually take this down to like 8 or 10. Okay? 8 or 10. You know, so like that. Okay? And then click OK. So now when I go out, in, it's a little more exact, I guess is the best way to say it. I can even go a lot less than that. I don't know, let's try 1. See what that does. Okay, see how much different that is? Do that. Oops. Alright, so that's kind of how you zoom in on here. Okay, so now we talked about obviously placing pieces, we talked about moving pieces, we talked about, you know, making them higher or lower. The next thing we want to talk about is, you know, changing the angle, right? The 3 dimensions, you have an x-axis, you have a y-axis, you also have a z-axis. So in space, you know, you're going to be tilting left and right. So as you can see, this plank right here comes straight, but it goes underneath and then it comes back up. So that means that this is tilted. So we can change that tilt if we want to. You know, in this particular case, I may not, because, you know, it's a little bit freaking OCD, but sometimes you do want to change it. So we'll just go through that. So you want to select the, you know, select your piece, okay? Make sure you're not selecting the other piece, right? So you can see this other piece is not selected, but only have this piece selected. This blue rectangle right here, that when I hover over it with my cursor, has the name of the piece. So I know that's the piece that I want, blue. The blue rectangle, when I hover over it. When I go over here, that's a gray rectangle. When I hover over it, that gray rectangle means that this piece is not selected. This blue rectangle means the piece is selected. Alright? So I want to change this so that this little, or change the angle of this so that this little thing is not popping out. Look here. So I'll just double click on this. I come up with the bottom. Okay? And this is all your orientation right here. Orientation, X, Y, okay? Now, what you could do is you can, click on here and you can just move your mouse button. Okay, I'll move this out of the way a little bit. You move your mouse button. Okay, see how that just changes like that? Okay? So as you can tell, the mouse button is like a little too much, right? See, it's like moving it too much. So you can just go in here and you just manually type them. Like, oops. Oh no, I want 2.5. 2.5. Or maybe I want 0.25, 0.2, 0.1, 0.05, 0.5. See that? See this piece right here? Just watch this piece for changing it. 0.05, 0.01, 0.05, 0.01. So you can tell, you can see what it's doing, right? So basically what you're trying to do is just trying to get it into a position. So this is 0.03, it's almost disappeared. Versus 0.01, 0.03, 0.04. It's basically disappeared. Alright? That's how you change the X and Y. Now, what happens if I want to keep it like this? Okay, but I want this end way down here. I want this angled more like this, right? I don't want it angled like this. I want this piece angled like this. So you can do that over here as well. So, I forget which axis it is. You can just play with them. Like, let's just try this one, X. Okay, X goes like that. See, it goes, see how it's going to the right? I'm moving my mouse button, by the way, to make that happen. Y, that's up and down, okay? And then Z is forward and backward. So it could be the Z orientation. Oh, I see what that does. So I think with this, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to move it like this, get it where we want, and then we're going to have to move it back over with my mouse. I'm doing all this with my mouse button. I'm clicking on position X to move it back over. Orientation X, changes how, the angle of it, okay? Yeah, I kind of want it like that, and I need to move this back over so this is connected over here. So I click on position X, and I move my mouse button, and I'm just, you could use the arrows too. Like, I guess you can't use the arrows. Yeah, it's just the mouse button for typing the numbers. So, something like jumping too much. So I'll probably go, this is 0.51, and this is 0.01. I probably want 0.25, just so it's kind of in the middle. Alright, then you press OK. Oh, by the way, the scale, this is the scale up here. You can make this bigger or smaller. Okay, see how that's bigger? See how the scale's going up? And then the scale's going down. So you can actually make objects bigger or smaller. I always kind of default everything to 1. Unless I need it different. Now you could, if you can see that this pier right here is thicker or wider than this right here. So I mean you could blow it up if you wanted to by using the scale, right? You could go over here and you can just make it wider. But then it's going to look weird because all the poles that are holding up the walkway are going to be much bigger than these poles, so, whatever. So that's that. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to zoom down here. Okay, do this right here. See, that's like a little janky, right? You kind of want it to be smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my Alt key down, and I'm going to go page up. I'm just going to just slightly do that. Alright. You can see that this is coming through the other piece, but, I'm not going to deal with it right now, but it looks good. Alright. So that's basically, and okay, so maybe I'll, so now I'm kind of going back a little bit. You see how slow it's moving? Okay, the reason why it's moving so slow, obviously, is because if you remember, we had this preference camera speed 1. Okay, that's fine. But what I want to do, what I really want to do is I want to finish this bridge. Okay, so we just change this camera speed so it's not so slow. Like, whatever, it's fine. Okay, so I need another piece. Right, I need another piece to come over here. So basically all I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this piece, click on it, right? This is the piece I want. I need another piece over here. And I'm going to go right click. See how I did that? I hovered over the blue selected object. I right clicked and I said copy. Okay? Copied one item to clipboard. Click somewhere else, make sure that's not selected. Right click. Oh, actually just maybe Control V as in Victor. That would work. Yep, there we go. See, there's a piece. So I can just use my arrows. Oops. Move down, left. All right, just kind of get it somewhere. All right, go down, down. All right, now I have to zoom in. Ooh, actually works pretty well. Actually pretty well. Okay, so as you can see, it's like a little off, right? So I can just hold the Alt key down, press down. I'm sorry, hold the Alt key and press page down. Just move it down just a little bit. Boom. All right. So then that's done. And then, oh, this is going to the rocks. Okay, that's not awesome. Okay, so say I want to change this whole entire bridge, right? Because this is going to end up in the rocks, as you can see, right? I keep building this thing, so I kind of go into the rocks. That's not awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole entire thing. I'm going to select this whole thing, this, okay? And I'm going to use my mouse wheel. Wow, okay, that doesn't work. Hold on a second. Hold the Control key. I forgot how to do this. Okay, let's just see. If I select everything with my with the left mouse button, and then hold the Control key, and then hold just one, like this side or this side, it shouldn't rotate. No. Shift key maybe. And then rotate. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's what it is. It's the Shift key. So basically what you got to do is you have to select everything, press the Shift key, and then hold one of these ends. Because if you hold the center, I mean, it works. It's just a little bit harder to control, but that's how you move the whole entire thing. Okay, so that's kind of good. So now I'm just going to move this over a little bit more because this is a little shaky on this side. So I'm going to go left arrow, left arrow, left arrow, left arrow, left arrow. So this looks, you're walking here and then you walk here. It's kind of legit. And then I need a landing over here. So I'm probably going to use the same exact thing over here. So I'll click on the box, right click, or I can just press probably Control C. Copy. All right, one's copied. I'm going to move over here with my D and my right. I'm holding my right mouse button to the camera the whole entire time as I'm moving A and S and D and W, stuff like that. All right, see how that works? And then I'm going to just go Control key as Victor. Boom, there it is. All right, I want to rotate this around. Hold the left. You can either hold the left shift and rotate it, which is fairly easy. But you could also go over here and see this orientation X. Just left click into that box and then just use your mouse button. That also does the same thing. It's a little bit more accurate that way. All right, so now I just need to connect this. So let me just zoom in here a little more. Use my arrows now. I'm using just the arrow keys. Change the camera angle so I can see what I'm doing. All right. Almost there, you can see. Just need to move just a little bit. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key, press page down, and then just slot that in there. Like that. See how this looks. So it's pretty good. So as you can see, it's like not long enough. Well, I guess it's okay. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Let's see what does this side look like. That side's okay too. Okay, so let's just say you just finished your first thing like we did. Click away here. Alright. I mean, that's, you'll be able to climb on that. But maybe you're like, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to climb on it. I don't know if, someone's going to get stuck on here and they won't be able to climb. I want to be able to test it. So what you can do to test it is, click, with your left mouse button somewhere here. And then, whoa, hold on a second. Oh, that's the home key. Yeah, you gotta press the home key. So as you can see, this is me, okay? I pressed the home key and it took me back to where I spawned in at when I first opened DayZ Editor, alright? But, that's not really what I want because that's not where my building is. So press the home key again. You're going to be back over here. And I want my guy to be here. So let me save this first before we start messing around. So I'm going to go File, Save As. Okay. And then go down here. This file right here. Save file. You're just going to click over here somewhere. Kind of hard to see, but there's like a space right here. And then just, call it Prison Island V2. You can call it whatever you want. V2. Save. And then just keep all this the same. Don't change anything. Save. Boom. Okay. That's done. So now I have to figure out how to get my guy over here. Let me see. I think. Still way over there. Forgot how to do this part. You know what? I'm going to make a different video about that because I need to figure that out for myself. I'm not exactly sure. But basically what you can do when you press home, once your guy is over here, what you can do when you press home, okay, you're going to have this guy. He's going to act basically like, anybody else would be acting. So if you built something right here, you can basically test it. That's effectively what's going on. But for some reason, I forgot the command to, when I press the home key, I'm where I built, but when I press the home key, it takes me back to where I teleported. I'm sorry, it teleports me back to where I loaded in. But there is a key where you can get this helper guy. When you press the home key, literally right where you're building. I just kind of forgot how to do that. Okay, so now let's just say you're done, okay, and you want to put this in the game. All right. If you want to put this in the game, what you got to do, as you can see, I don't have a cursor, right? Whenever I'm not even pressing the right mouse button. I'm just moving the mouse, and that happens after you press the home key. To get back into seeing the cursor, if you remember, you press the space bar. right? So that gives me the cursor back. So then I go up here and I go File. And I'm going to export the file so that I can load it on the server, okay? I go File, okay? And I'm going to go Export, okay? Then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to export to Object Spawner. It's a JSON file, okay? It's not this export to COM. It's export to Object Spawner because these are all objects. I'm going to export to Object Spawner. You can name it. I usually name it the same exact thing as the DZE file, which the .dze is basically the editor file that lets you, obviously build things in editor, but you can't load the DZE file to the DayZ server. You need to export it into a JSON file. So that's what we're doing right now. We went File, we went Export, and then we went JSON. So then you go down here to the bottom. Again, they usually name it the same thing, so I can keep track of stuff. Prison, Island, meeting 2. That's it. Press export. Boom. Okay. And then you'll have the JSON file, on your computer, and then all you have to do is either do FileZilla, FTP transfer, or however you move files to the server. I'm not sure exactly what your protocol is, but I use FileZilla, and I use that as my FTP transfer protocol. But whatever you do, just push that file, that new JSON file, onto your server, into the directory that all your other custom bases and everything, all your other custom JSON files are in. So that's it. So that's basically lesson number 1. What I would recommend is just working with that information. Just use this video and work with that information. That's going to basically allow you to pretty much build anything. There will be some questions that you have that come up, particularly like this little helper guy. I'll figure out how to get that guy over here. But just the things to remember are, do not, if any of these BLDR files pop up as a choice, never ever use them. Okay, you can check on the right. These are all the files that you've put on your custom file. Just make sure all of these files don't have BLDR in front of it. If they do, there's an identical file that doesn't have BLDR in front of it. Just go pick that one, right? Like, look at this, BLDR peer with 1. Okay, that's what that one looks like. And I go down here, static object peer with 1. That's the one you want to use. So if you make a mistake and you have any of those BLDR files in here, just find the identical one that doesn't have BLDR, and then you got to delete it and then replace it. So that's it. Just ping me if you got any questions.